wondering if he still thinks about you, wondering if your name still crosses his mind when he wakes up late at night, wondering if he feels your absence the same way you feel his. And the hardest part? You can't see thoughts, you can't measure emotions, you can't open someone's heart and check if you still exist inside it. So most people begin chasing signs. They check stories, replay conversations, analyze every emoji, every delayed response, every accidental like, and slowly, without realizing it, they hand all their power away. But what if the real connection was never outside of you? What if the strongest signal between two people doesn't begin with words, but with energy, emotion, and the invisible language of the subconscious mind? Because there are moments in life when someone suddenly thinks about you for no logical reason at all. A memory appears, a feeling rises, a face flashes through their mind, and they can't explain why. Tonight, I want to guide you through a completely different perspective. Not one based on obsession, not one based on manipulation, but one based on emotional alignment, inner presence, and the power your body carries when your thoughts and feelings move together. This is not about forcing someone to love you. It's about understanding how emotional energy works, and how your inner state changes the way people feel you, even from a distance. So if you're ready, breathe deeply, relax your shoulders, and stay with me until the end. Because the final step is the one most people destroy without even noticing. Maybe you've already tried everything. You visualized him texting you. You repeated affirmations. You imagined him missing you. You listened to manifestation audios late at night hoping something would shift. And maybe for a moment it felt comforting. But afterward? Nothing. Silence. No message. No sign. No sudden confession. And eventually, you started asking yourself, why isn't this working for me? Here's the truth almost nobody tells you. The problem usually isn't the technique, it's the emotional state underneath it. Because energy doesn't respond only to words, it responds to emotional truth. If your thoughts are filled with fear, if your visualizations come from desperation, if deep down you're saying, please don't forget me, then your body is broadcasting absence, not connection. And people feel that more than you realize. Human beings are emotional receivers. We sense tension, insecurity, neediness, and emotional pressure even when nobody says a word. That's why chasing almost always pushes energy away. Not because you aren't worthy, but because fear creates resistance. Think about it. When someone is truly calm, confident, emotionally centered, you naturally feel drawn toward them. Why? Because they aren't demanding energy, they are generating it. And that changes everything. Psychologist Carl Jung believed human beings share something deeper than conscious thought. He called it the collective unconscious, a hidden layer of connection beneath ordinary awareness, a place where emotions, symbols, memories, and energies move between people in ways logic cannot fully explain. Now, whether you see this spiritually, psychologically, or emotionally, one thing is undeniable. People influence each other constantly without speaking. You walk into a room and instantly feel tension or warmth or attraction. Someone thinks about a painful memory and their whole body changes. A person enters your life and suddenly your mood shifts around them without explanation. Science itself confirms that emotions affect the nervous system, heart rhythms, hormones, facial expressions, breathing patterns, and even electromagnetic activity in the body. Your emotional state is never silent. It radiates. And when thoughts become emotionally charged, they become even more powerful. That's why some people remain unforgettable. Not because they tried harder, but because their emotional presence left an imprint. Neville Goddard once said that people don't manifest what they want. They manifest what they feel to be real. That means your body matters. Your emotional certainty matters. Because the subconscious mind responds more to feeling than words. So if you constantly feel abandoned, ignored, rejected, or emotionally starving, that becomes the signal. But when you feel grounded, open, emotionally whole, and connected within yourself, something changes. You stop begging for attention, and your energy becomes magnetic instead of desperate. Before we begin the actual exercise, there's something important you need to understand. This is not about controlling another person. You cannot force authentic love. And you should never lose yourself trying to pull someone toward you. This practice is about reconnecting to your own emotional center first, because the strongest energy always begins inside. So right now, wherever you are, pause, put your phone down for a moment if you can, sit comfortably, and simply breathe. Not dramatically, not perfectly, just slowly. Feel the air moving in and out of your body. Notice how much noise your mind usually carries, questions, memories, fear, imaginary conversations. You don't need to fight any of it. Just let it pass like clouds moving through the sky. Now place one hand gently over your chest, right in the center. This matters because your body remembers emotional states through physical association. That's why certain songs bring back memories instantly. That's why certain places make you emotional. Your nervous system connects feelings to sensations. So choose a simple gesture now. Maybe touching your heart, maybe pressing your palms together, maybe lightly touching your forehead. This will become your emotional anchor, a signal to your body that says, I am returning to my center. Take another slow breath, and now imagine yourself completely free from needing validation. Not abandoned, not rejected, just calm, whole, present. This is the state where emotional transmission becomes strongest, because fear is no longer interfering. Now let's begin. Close your eyes. Imagine him somewhere ordinary, not in a fantasy scene, something natural. Maybe he's driving home working late, sitting alone drinking coffee, scrolling through his phone absent-mindedly. And then suddenly, something about you enters his mind. Maybe your laugh, maybe your eyes, maybe a memory he thought he forgot. He pauses just for a second, because your energy crossed his awareness. Now activate your physical anchor. Touch your heart, press your hands together, whatever gesture you chose. And instead of forcing the image, feel it. Feel the emotional warmth inside your chest. Feel calm certainty instead of urgency. You are not begging to be remembered. You are simply allowing connection. Now silently repeat, I do not chase energy, I allow it. I trust what is meant for me to feel me naturally. Breathe slowly. Feel gratitude as if the emotional connection already exists. Not excitement, not obsession, just quiet knowing. This is important because the nervous system responds strongest to emotional coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and body align, your entire energy changes. Stay there for a few moments, then gently release the image. Do not cling to it, do not force it to continue. Let it dissolve naturally, and whisper silently, what is real will return naturally. Then open your eyes slowly. That's it. Simple, but powerful, because the true shift was never about him. It was about the emotional state you entered. Most people ruin the process immediately afterward, not because they failed, but because anxiety returns. The moment the exercise ends, they begin checking their phone, watching for signs, waiting for notifications, looking for proof, and that instantly pulls them back into emotional lack. Imagine planting a seed into the ground. Would you dig it up every hour to check if roots are growing? Of course not. Growth requires trust, and emotional energy works similarly. The moment you obsess over outcomes, you create tension, and tension interrupts flow. That's why silence is powerful. Not silence to manipulate someone, silence to protect your peace. You do not need to announce your inner work to everyone around you. You do not need constant reassurance. Some energies become stronger, precisely because they are nurtured quietly. So after doing this practice, return to your life, drink water, go outside, listen to music, laugh with friends, work on yourself. The less desperately you cling, the stronger your emotional presence becomes, because emotional confidence is deeply attractive. Now let's talk about how to maintain this state without becoming obsessive. Throughout the day, briefly repeat your physical gesture. Just for 1 second, touch your heart, press your palms together. Not to make something happen, only to remind your nervous system of calm emotional certainty. This trains your body to associate love with peace instead of anxiety. And that changes your entire emotional frequency over time. Many affirmations fail because the body rejects them. If someone feels unloved and repeats, he's obsessed with me, their nervous system often resists it internally. Instead, use emotionally believable thoughts like what is meant for me is moving toward me naturally, or I do not need to force connection. These create less inner conflict, and emotional alignment becomes easier. Once a day, close your eyes for 30 seconds and simply breathe. No visualization, no forcing, just openness. This teaches your body an entirely different emotional pattern, not pursuit, receiving. And there is enormous power in that shift. There are 3 mistakes almost everyone makes. And if you avoid these, everything changes. Doing it 10 times a day usually means fear is running the process, not trust. Real emotional power comes from calm repetition, not desperation. Do it when you genuinely feel centered, not when panic appears. Checking his profile every hour destroys your emotional balance, because now your peace depends on external proof. And the moment your peace depends on someone else's behavior, you lose your center. Remember this, the strongest energy is relaxed. This is the most dangerous one. Sometimes people become so focused on being loved that they abandon their own life. Their hobbies disappear, their confidence disappears, their identity disappears. Never let emotional longing erase your self-worth. The goal is not to lose yourself inside another person. The goal is to become so emotionally aligned with yourself that love flows naturally instead of painfully. Real attraction is deeper than appearance, deeper than texting rules, deeper than pretending not to care. People are drawn toward emotional energy that feels safe, alive, grounded, and authentic. That's why self-connection matters first. Because when you choose yourself internally, people feel it, not through magic, through behavior, presence, confidence, energy, tone, emotional stability. Your body changes, your voice changes, your eyes change. And suddenly the energy you once tried to force begins happening naturally. That's the irony. The less desperately you chase love, the more room love has to approach you. If you remember only one thing from this video, let it be this. You do not need to beg for connection to be worthy of it. You do not need to abandon yourself to be loved. And you do not need constant proof to trust your own emotional power. Sometimes the deepest connection begins the moment you stop chasing and start returning to yourself. Because when someone truly feels your energy, they remember you naturally, not because you force them to, but because authentic emotional presence leaves echoes in the heart. So tonight, breathe deeply, place your hand over your heart, and remind yourself, I am already enough. I do not chase love. I become aligned with it. If this message resonated with you, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful mindset and emotional energy practices. And in the next video, we'll explore another deep exercise designed to strengthen intuition, emotional confidence, and the invisible connection between two people. Until then, protect your peace, trust your energy, and never forget your worth.